Hello friends, I'm so glad you're here today for a super exciting story from the Bible. Are you ready? Great! Our story begins a long time ago. There were two big armies getting ready for a battle. On one side were God's people, the Israel. On the other side was a mighty army, and they had a giant. His name was Goliath. He was taller than a house, and he wore heavy, clunky armor. Every single day, Goliath would stomp out and shout at the Israel soldiers. He would say, "Send out your best warrior to fight me." The Israel soldiers were so scared, no one was brave enough to fight the giant. They would just hide in their tents, trembling. King Saul said to the Israel army, "Whoever dares to go up against Goliath, I will marry him to my daughter." Now, not too far away, there was a young shepherd boy named David. David wasn't a soldier. He spent his days taking care of his father's fluffy sheep in the fields. He was young, but he was very brave, and he loved God with his whole heart. One day, his dad asked him to take some bread and cheese to his older brothers who were soldiers in the army. So, David packed up the food and headed to the army camp. When David got there, he heard a loud, booming voice. It was Goliath, shouting his challenge again. David saw how scared all the soldiers were, and he couldn't believe it. He turned to the soldiers and said, "Who is this giant to make fun of God's army?" David wasn't scared at all. He knew God was bigger and stronger than any giant. He went straight to the king, King Saul, and said, "Don't worry, I will go and fight this giant." King Saul was surprised. "You're just a boy," he said. But David explained, "When I watch my sheep, I fight off lions and bears to keep them safe. God helps me then, and God will help me now." Seeing David's faith, the king finally agreed. King Saul put his own heavy armor on David, but it was way too big and clunky. It wobbled all over the place. David just laughed and took it off. "I can fight with this," he said. "I will fight Goliath with this slingshot." So, what did he do? He walked down to a little stream and carefully picked up 5 smooth, round stones. He put them in his shepherd's pouch. With just his simple sling and those 5 stones, he walked out to face the giant. Goliath saw David coming and laughed a big, booming laugh. Goliath said to David, "What is this stick for? Do you think I am a dog?" Then he cursed David by his gods. He also challenged David, saying, "Come, let me go. I will give your body to the birds and the wild animals to eat. You come against me with a sword, a spear, and a javelin, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied. This very day the Lord will deliver you into my hands. I will strike you down and cut off your head. I will give your bodies and the bodies of the Philistine soldiers to the birds and the wild animals to be eaten. Then all the world will know that we Israel have a God whom we serve, and everyone here will see that the Lord does not need sword or spear to save his people. He is the one who determines the course of this battle, and he will give you into our hands." Goliath began to advance toward David, and David quickly ran toward the Philistine line to confront him. Then David did something amazing. He put one of his smooth stones into his sling. He swung it around and around and around, faster and faster. And then, whoosh, he let it fly. The little stone soared through the air and hit the giant right on his forehead. Bunk! Down went Goliath. The giant fell to the ground with a tremendous thud. The whole Israel army couldn't believe their eyes. They let out a huge cheer. They had won. David, the small shepherd boy, had beaten the big, scary giant. So when David returned to the camp after killing Goliath, Abner brought him to King Saul. Then King Saul asked him, "Young man, whose son are you?" David answered, "I am the son of Jesse, the Bethlehem." Isn't that an incredible story? It teaches us something very important. It doesn't matter if you feel small or if you're facing a really big, scary problem. With God on your side, you can be brave and strong, just like David. You can overcome giant challenges because God is always with you, helping you every step of the way. Never forget how strong you are with His help. Thanks for listening, friends. I'll see you next time for another amazing story. Bye-bye.